Coming up tonight on YCN News, the Newport School District held its deliberative session last night. CVS is getting out of the cigarette business. And Vermont Governor Peter Shumlin announces $2 million in grants that will improve motorists' and pedestrians' safety. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, and welcome to this Wednesday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. The Newport School District's deliberative session was held last night at the Newport Middle High School gym. Voters got their chance to amend the warrant articles, finalizing the ballot they will see on March 11th. Citizens who attended the deliberative session had the opportunity to weigh in on the proposed operating budget of $17.5 million, as well as two collective bargaining agreements, one with the Newport Teachers Association and one with the Newport Support Staff Association. YCN News was able to meet with School Board Chair Leo Paquin after the meeting to get his sense of the importance of these contracts.
We had a few articles out there on collective bargaining, both the teachers union and the support staff, para and support staff union. We've looked at multi-year contracts for the both of them, and we support it 100%. Newport is a little low as far as the pay scale goes out there for a competitive wage. We've had a lot of teachers be here a long time, and stick around a long time. We've had paraeducators stay a long time, and our hopes is that we can keep those people, and keep them coming back and get them a little more competitive. And if we can get the bottom salaries up too, we can attract more people as other people retire. So it's real important.
In addition to the collective bargaining agreements, there was substantial discussion on Article 9, which would allow the district to establish a rainy day fund from operating surpluses that could be used for future emergencies or to reduce future tax increases. Newport Business Administrator Chuck Stewart met with YCN reporter John O'Connor after the meeting to discuss the importance of establishing this rainy day fund.
From your vantage point, why is that important for the voters to have in front of them?
This is an article that was enabled by the legislature a couple of years ago that would give school districts the same ability that towns and cities have had for many years, and that is to retain fund balance. Essentially a rainy day fund, if you will, to either reduce the tax rate or to take care of unanticipated emergencies, like a failed roof or a failed boiler. And it will also have the effect, if it's passed, of stabilizing the tax rate.
Keep tuned to YCN News as we cover your local school districts. In other news, there is a national story that will impact our local communities. CVS stores across the country will no longer carry cigarettes and tobacco products beginning October 1st. In a letter made public today, CVS President and CEO Larry Merlot said selling tobacco products does not support its role as a healthcare company. Put simply, Merlot says, the sale of tobacco products is inconsistent with our purpose. CVS now offers minute clinics to patients at several locations, including West Lebanon, New Hampshire, and is on a path to focus on improved healthcare outcomes for its customers. Medical studies continue to link a person's failing health with his or her use of tobacco. There are fewer smokers today in America, 18% of the nation's population, compared to 42% in 1965. Yet cigarettes remain visible on store shelves, including behind the counters of area CVS's. Secretary of Health and Human Services Kathleen Sebelius says CVS is on the right track. After the break, we'll learn about the upcoming skijoring race in the Newport Winter Carnival and the $2 million in grants that will improve Vermont motorists and pedestrian safety.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. The 98th annual Newport Winter Carnival is in full swing this week. There are many events happening. One in particular is the skijoring race.
It's Saturday and Sunday. It starts at noon on Saturday, 2 o'clock on Sunday. It's at the airport. We do right on the runway. There's 3 divisions. There's a novice, which doesn't pay back, but like the kids and people doing it for the first time are more than welcome to do it. There's a sport, which is an intermediate, and then there's open. A rider can pull 3 skiers and a skier can ski behind 3 horses.
Be sure to check out or compete in the races this weekend in Newport. In Vermont today, Governor Peter Shumlin announced $2 million in grants will improve motorists and pedestrian safety. Shumlin and Transportation Secretary Brian Searles says the state will receive $2.2 million for city and town projects. Putney, Rutland City, Springfield, and North Bennington are 4 of 9 communities that will benefit from money to fix sidewalks, ramps, and crosswalks. The grant money is part of a federal plan known as the Transportation Alternatives Program. The TAP program projects help build a community from the ground up, Shumlin and Searles agree. For $300,000 in Putney, 1,300 feet of sidewalk will connect walkers to Landmark College. In Springfield, a $15,000 study will determine where sidewalks and crosswalks should be placed near the Elm Street Primary School. A $14,000 grant will allow for sidewalks and a bike lane along Route 14 and Quechee West Hartford Road. The New Hampshire Attorney General's office will continue its investigation into a Weir police officer's use of deadly force this summer. It was August 14th when Alex Cora de Jesus was shot and killed by a police officer. Since then, the Attorney General's office and the State Police Major Crime Unit have been studying to see if the shooting was justified. The complexity of the investigation warrants additional interviews. Attorney General Joseph Foster said today that at least another 2 months is needed for interviews and a case review. 5 Weir police officers were involved in the summertime incident. Foster released those names today. These include Sergeant Joseph Kelly, Sergeant Kenneth Cox, Detective Frank Hebert, Officer Nicholas Nadeau, and Officer Brandon Montplaisir. Foster says no further information will be released until the investigation is completed and a report issued. Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next 5 days, and he'll take a look at some local high school sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tomorrow will be sunny with highs in the 20s and a low of 4 degrees. Friday will have a high of 23 with lows down to 2 degrees, so dress warm if you go out that night. Saturday will have highs in the upper 20s with a low of 3 degrees. Sunday we're expecting more snow, so start planning your next ski day. There will be a high of 28 degrees and lows down to 11. Monday will be cloudy with highs in the upper 20s and lows down to 2 degrees. If you're looking to have fun in the snow this weekend, head over to Newport this Sunday for a variety of activities, including slobogganing at 2 p.m. You can learn how to use the sloboggan to steer your sled in a fun new way. And now, let's take a look at local high school sports. Mascoma and Newfound played 2 games yesterday with boys and girls teams. The Mascoma boys hosted Newfound in West Canaan, New Hampshire. Mascoma vanquished Newfound 70-45. This brings Mascoma's record to 8 wins and 6 losses. Meanwhile, the Mascoma girls were battling it out with Newfound in Bristol, New Hampshire. In the end, the Mascoma Royals were unable to keep up with Newfound's persistent scoring. Mascoma lost with 37 points to Newfound's 54 points. There was another 2-game battle from yesterday. This time it was Sunapee versus Wilton Lynborough. The Sunapee Lakers boys team overpowered their opponent 70 points to 57 points. The Sunapee girls were successful as well, trampling over Wilton Lynborough 57-36.
Thank you for joining us for this Wednesday edition of YCN News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And you can watch our programs anytime online at www.ycnnow.com. Be sure to tune in tomorrow to hear from Chuck Crush from the Visiting Nurse Association of Vermont and New Hampshire. I'm Rose Spillman for YCN, your local view. Good night.